Hello, good evening. It's News 360 coming to you live from the News Hub here at Adesawe Kanda. I am Portia Gabo.
And my name is Pakwisi Asari. Coming up in the next 1 hour.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint
and Napa Foods. Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Minority MPs clash with a Greek minister at Buffer Stock Company over debts to food suppliers. Meanwhile, the Speaker of Parliament has summoned the sector minister together with the Education and Finance ministers over the impasse.
Also tonight, Alan and Bawumia teams trade salvos amid flag bearer race campaign.
Still in the bulletin tonight, organized labor suspends intended strike after Council of State's intervention.
In business news, economists cast doubt the services sector leading economic growth could lead to job creation.
Elsewhere on the international front, Kenyan police disperse protesters marching on Friday against a new finance law that has doubled the fuel tax and introduced a housing levy for employees. We've got the very latest details of all these stories, plus many more coming up in the next 60 minutes. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on your DSTV channel 279. You can join us with your views, comments, and suggestions on any of our top stories this hour. Feel free to share comments with us on Facebook or on Twitter. Just go ahead and we promise to share them with the rest of the world.
The news now in detail. And sleeping over at the Buffer Stock Company premises for 4 nights by members of the Food Suppliers Association over the outstanding payment arrears in excess of 270 million cedis has gained the attention of Parliament. 3 cabinet ministers, Agriculture, Education and Finance, are to appear before the House on an urgent call over the demands of the aggrieved food suppliers, who have gone a step further by rejecting decent accommodation ahead of a meeting with the board and management of the Buffer Stock Company. Let's now take you to Parliament.
The ongoing picketing and demonstrations at the Buffer Stock Company Limited. Food suppliers across the country have besieged the place, and over the last 4 days running into the 5th day continuously, they have been at the mercy of the vagaries of the weather. You paid a surprise visit to the Buffer Stock Company, specifically on the 23rd of June 2022, and Mr. Speaker himself warned. Mr. Speaker had foresight, he had vision. He warned that the situation was deteriorating, and the Speaker was not listened to. Now here we are, matters are totally out of control. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal to you that the Honourable Minister for Education and the Honourable Minister for Agric should be programmed to appear before this House urgently, and possibly we should add the Minister for Finance, because we are hearing that the Minister for Education made a request for financial release, and it has not been acceded to. So these 3 ministers, Mr. Speaker.
I had a good conversation with the Minister of Education. It is his ministry that does the payment through Buffer Stock. The indication he gives is that every effort is being made to deal with the situation, and that some of the vendors have been paid, and they are doing so in batches. So I believe that it's not a matter that would have to require a parliamentary committee going to investigate. The issue is people are owed and they have to be paid. They've rendered services to the state. They have to be paid. And the minister indicates to me that some have been paid, not all, and that steps are being taken to do extensive validation of invoices presented.
And so I agree that the business committee should program for the 3 ministers to come before the House. The three ministers are the ministers for Finance, Food and Agric, and Education, to tell us why they challenge. We'll be able to assist the executive to solve some of these problems. That is why we are establishing the Committee on Ways and Means.
And a working visit later by the Minority Caucus to the National Food Buffer Stock Company erupted into confusion. Minister of Food and Agriculture, Brian Acheampong, engaged the minority in a hot exchange of words. Komla Kluche joins us for more details. Komla, thank you so much for your time. And after the Speaker's directive, we understand there was a clash between the Agric Minister and the minority leadership. Tell us exactly what happened.
Well, following the hauling of the three ministers to the floor by the Speaker that should happen next week, the minority leadership led by Dr. Kesela Tuposin decided to pay a visit to the Buffer Stock Company to ascertain firsthand on a fact-finding mission what exactly the case is. This, they indicated, would really give them enough information as to what some of the questions they should ask the ministers who should appear before the mood bid. So the press corps took the lead and went to the Buffer Stock Company. And when we got there, the women were still there. Some were lying on the floor. Some were trying to cook and eat and all that. Then the minority leadership appeared. And when they came, they greeted the women and then went straight into the office of the Buffer Stock Company. Just when they were being addressed by the deputy CEO, then the Food and Agriculture Minister, Brian Acheampong, came out. And then when he got into the office, then Dr. Kesela Tuposin said, okay, so the minister is here, maybe the minister can apprise them. And this ensued between the Food and Agriculture Minister, Brian Acheampong, and the minority leadership. They had accused of political mischief and busing the people to the premise.
So we'll ask the minister, so we can take it from here. The minister is up. So we don't need to. We need to see the minister. Minister, why can't we do that? We can't do our work. Why can't we?
You can't do.
We can't do our work.
We are here to help them.
We can't do our work.
You are former deputy finance minister. What do you know about these payments? What do you know about paying people or payments that have delayed? You're former finance minister.
So are you saying?
Your first thing you want to do. No, but your first thing you get angry that we are here. You should be the last person to get angry. You should be the last person to get angry. No, you should be the last person to get angry.
Are you angry because we are
finding solutions to the challenges? Are you angry because we are finding solutions? If you could have solved it, we would have been here. Is that what you're saying? You should be the last person to get angry. We don't members of parliament, we're all stakeholders in the government of this country.
Is that what you're saying?
You shout at us like that, please. You don't do that. You don't do that.
I'm saying that.
You came and said disrespect. It is quite disrespectful.
I'm not going to accept this.
I won't accept this invitation of yours. You don't do that.
Young man, I won't accept this invitation of yours.
You have to join me in plain language.
But what I'm saying is that
this is not the route
to solve this problem. This inorganic picketing should not be accepted.
We are not going to
and encouraged. So you don't bring press to a reception. No, leader. You are a leader. Yes. You are a minority leader.
No, you like what is your problem? What is your problem? That is not. No, what is your problem? No, what is your problem? What is your problem?
I'm here to address
as soon as
don't run away from here. Let's address it.
Let's address it. We want to talk to you. And then we all come.
We are ready to talk
to you. We know what to do.
We want to talk to you.
We know what to do.
Yeah, so say that. You should have said that.
Anytime
you walk in, the first thing you
no, stop that time. Stop that attitude of yours. Stop that attitude of yours.
Now, Komla, the Agric Minister also gave an indication of payment soon, but we understand that was also characterized with some controversy. What happened?
Of course, just after this altercation, when Tempest came down, well, in fact, Tempest did not actually come down, though, but when they entered into the boardroom, it appears they didn't have any consensus. So the minority group left the boardroom and came to address the suppliers. And just when the minority leader was addressing the suppliers, then Brian came again. After the minority leader spoke, he also came and said that, yes, of course, government is making effort to pay them. In fact, he said that on the 17th of this month, they'll be able to clear the arrears of the 217 million or so that they owe them. But it didn't come with it didn't go without controversy, where Brian Champon again was trying to discredit the spokesperson of the suppliers, and he asked the media to find out from the women whether their spokesperson was a part of them. And this ensued as well, where the women discredited the position of their Greek Minister Brian Champon.
NDC minority group were coming here. They regrouped to put up this spectacular show. But I want to assure Ghanaians that the issue is simple. They have supplied and they want to be paid. We are working on it. By the end of the day today, I will know exactly when they will be paid, and then I will talk to the secretary as I promised them. I've also agreed to meet with them next week, because beyond the payment, they must continue to do business. And we are going to look at ways, a week today, Friday, next week, we are going to look at ways that we are going to streamline the business to ensure that when they supply, they are paid immediately. This issue this afternoon is just a political show that has been staged to send a sort of message to the public, because it should not have happened. A matter that was resolved yesterday, that they left this premise and went home. This spokesperson that they're talking about in the last couple of days, I have never seen him. This Ahmed Dume or what, I have not seen him as part of this group. All of a sudden, he shows up. The women are here. You can talk to them. I had just as they admitted, and then they are called back.
It's so never true. We never left
on them. It's quite unfortunate.
Komla Kluche, thank you so much for your time. And Komla Kluche is our parliamentary correspondent.
Interesting developments there. Let's know what you think. Send us your views and comments on our Facebook page or Twitter pages. Let's do some politics now. And Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has concluded day 2 of his campaign tour of the Ashanti region, urging delegates of the party to vote for him to lead the party into the 2024 general elections. The NPP flag bearer hopeful says he's committed to ensuring the party is retained in power in 2025. My colleague William Evans Inkum has been following Dr. Bawumia and has joined us live on Zoom. Evans, what else has the Vice President been saying?
Well, so he's also been talking about his contribution to the party. This time around, he's not focusing on how he helped the party won a very landmark legal battle in 2013, but he is talking about giving financial support from the grassroots to the parliamentary level. So, for instance, he said in 2020, he supported all 275 MPs. And of course, in the northern region, there was a heavy representation and a reflection of his, wholesale support to the party when he was able to secure some 16 seats, for the ruling New Patriotic Party. And of course, he also made mention of the fact that he supported the grassroots election. We're talking about the polling station electoral area coordinators election, and even up to the constituency election. So these are the things that he believed that make him well without to lead a party into the 2024 election. But one particular person who has also been making a very strong case for the Vice President, the Deputy Minister of Defense, he believed that no single MP is being coerced to follow the Vice President. But he believed that he has a well without to lead a party, saying they want a flag bearer. They want a president, I beg your pardon, and not a flag bearer. Let's just listen to William Akwame.
We are looking for a president and not a flag bearer. There is a reason why if somebody is going to be made a chief, he has to go through some customary rites. Dr. Muhammad Bawumia, as the vice president, has gone through the mill. As running mate for 4 times, he's gone through the mill. He is prepared, he is baked, he is ready for the job. And so it is no wonder that out of the 137 MPs in Parliament, you have about 120 throwing their weight solidly behind him. He is the man for the job. He is the man to do that which has never been done before. He is the man to break the 8 for NPP. It is possible.
Thanks very much, William Evans Inkum, for that update. And I'm sure we'll be coming to you in subsequent bulletins for more updates on the campaign by the presidential hopefuls of the New Patriotic Party.
Meanwhile, NPP flag-bearer hopeful Alan Kyerematen has concluded his campaign tour of the Greater Accra region. The former trade minister addressed delegates of Amasaman and Chobu constituencies. The tour is part of his campaign to garner support for his presidential bid. The former trade and industry minister has been detailing his great transformational plan ahead of the party's November 4, 2023 presidential primaries.
Elsewhere, spokesperson for the Alan Kyerematen campaign, Yaw Boabin Asamoah, has dismissed claims by Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia that when it mattered most, he stood in for the party during the election petition in 2013. He said Dr. Bawumia never contributed financially to the party when it mattered most. Let's listen to him.
There is a pattern that emerges. Whenever you do something, patterns emerge. And you can tell from miles away that this is the process, but it is how it is likely to end. That's why we have polls and we have predictions. That is why there are those who are saying that though there are 10 people, there may be only 2 or 3 or 4 in the race. Patterns emerge. And in the NPP, one of the patterns is that the party rewards long service and commitment. And they can tell who has been in that process. And one of the ways of determining it is how often one has contested the leadership. And over the years, how patient one has been and how courageous one has been. But delegates are looking for certain things. Delegates are looking for longevity of service, commitment, sacrifices for the growth of the party. Delegates are looking for service to the party through the government. One's record in government, what one contributed to the party when in government. Delegates are looking at the vision of the candidate. As we are speaking, Alan Kyerematen has the clearest vision for the future of the party and the government.
And away from politics, organized labor has suspended its July 10 intended strike over failure by Sunon Asogli to reinstate 3 dismissed workers. This follows an intervention by the Council of State after an emergency meeting. Secretary General of the TUC, Dr. Yauba, has been addressing the media.
Our 3 brothers should be reinstated, and that we should work together to ensure that our rights as workers should not be abused by any employer, whether they are Chinese or they are Ghanaian or anywhere they come from. So after they gave us that assurance, they also requested that we should give them time to work with government to get our demand met. So the leadership that met Council of State, we met right there at the premises, and we went back to report to them that we are ready to give them that time. On the basis of that, we agree with them again that we are going to suspend the action which was scheduled for Monday, 10th of July, until further notice. They were wondering why we didn't reach out to them based on the experience with the pension fund thing. But we didn't think that this case will travel this far. The Minister for Employment and Labour Relations, National Labour Commission, 3 brothers sacked and we can't get them back. And now we have to go to as far as to the presidency. And now it's government to government. What has happened is that, and that is why I want you to be encouraged, the government of this country, the employers of this country, both in the private and public sectors, know that organized labor, when we say something, we do it. And that is why, since we declared a strike, I have not gone to sleep because everybody is worried.
Elsewhere, the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament has given the Ghana Revenue Authority a 2-week ultimatum to furnish Parliament with contracts of engagement for a revenue monitoring company. Safaritech Ghana Limited was engaged by the Ghana Revenue Authority in 2020, but records reveal the company has been delisted since 2016, even though it still monitors revenue collection for the tax office.
I just wanted to find out from the GRA, do you know this company called Safaritech Ghana Limited?
Yes, Honorable Chair, we do.
Does the GRA have any relationship with that company?
Yes, Honorable Chair, it's a service provider.
Can you explain to this committee what kind of service they provide to the GRA?
I will request that if the committee, since the committee has mentioned it, we can gather the details about the relationship and make it available.
Oh, but Commissioner General, you just admitted that you know Safaritech and that they are a service provider. You should be able to tell us what kind of service do they provide. We're not asking for specifics of the details, but what kind of service do they provide to the GRA? Please, your microphone.
In the form of audit assurance, as far as the auditing process is concerned. But I thought you were looking for the more details, so I said, but in terms of the type of services, audit assurance.
When did you engage their services, please? Do you remember?
And I think I will gather this thing because I didn't expect that it's going to be part of the discussion today.
But would it interest you if I told you that you engaged this company per our information in 2020, and as far back as 2016, this company had been delisted as a registered company in the UK, where they had displayed as their base of registration. So 4 years before you engaged this company, they had written to the Registrar of Companies in the UK that they were ceasing to function. What due diligence did you carry out before engaging them?
Chairman, I don't think that it is around 2020. I cannot get the exact date, but we will just check, and whatever information that you need, we can make them available.
Well, that doesn't change the fact that in 2016, this was a company that delisted. And then the follow-up to that will be that you slapped a $773 million back tax on a company you have designated as the best corporate taxpayer in Ghana, MTN Ghana Limited, on the basis of a Safaritech report, which KPMG disputed. What due diligence and at what cost did this consultancy that Safaritech carry out for you? At what cost to the taxpayer did it happen?
Thank you very much. But I want to say that this is a transaction or an activity that if your house we want to get the details, can be worked, but it cannot be given in terms because I will not be able to give all the details at this time. I might end up not giving very accurate information. So I want to request that if this is something that
so then, on the basis of that, Chairman, I will want to make a request that they furnish this committee with details of the cost of the engagement with Safaritech, so that we are clear, we are apprised of the nature of their engagement with this company whose listed address is a tailoring shop on the Spintex Road, as we speak right now. Arrest, Chairman.
All right, so, Mr. Commissioner General, if you can provide the relationship you have with the Safaritech Ghana Limited to the chair through the clerk to the committee. If there is a need for us to call you for further explanation, we'll do so.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Yeah, so with this one detail, 2 weeks will be enough for the committee to get the details. Or is it too short for you? Or too long?
It's okay.
It's okay, all right.
In more news tonight, the Chief Justice, Her Ladyship Justice Gertrude Tokonu, has advocated for Ghana to develop a cross-sectorial legal, regulatory and institutional framework to aid the prudent exploitation of ocean resources to provide judges with a clear legal landscape. She was speaking at a seminar to equip judges to deal with challenges of interpreting and applying maritime laws for expeditious and equitable settlement of shipping-related disputes.
The Ghana Shippers Authority has provided a platform for judges to deepen maritime law knowledge. As maritime economic activities increase, disputes related to international transactions will arise. The authority aims to promote a sound maritime legal regime culture and effectively adjudicate maritime cases and trade-related transactions.
I therefore advocate strongly for Ghana to develop a cross-sectoral legal, regulatory and institutional framework, not only to aid the prudent exploitation of our blue economy, but also to provide judges with a clear legal landscape that aids the efficient and expeditious settling of jurisprudence in this particular area and the making of relevant orders that supports the flourishing of the economy.
The Chief Executive of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Benonita Bismarck, emphasized the importance of efficient adjudication of maritime trade disputes for maritime space security.
We can't just sit and think that things remain static. No, they're dynamic. So as they develop, what do we have to bring to the table for our justices? Because at the end of the day, it's business. And if there are disputes, the conflicts must be resolved. If it goes to the court, the judge must be seized with information to be able to give the needed judgment.
The Deputy Minister of Transport, Frederick Obeng-Adom, lauded the initiative.
And dynamic nature of the maritime industry necessitates a continuous awareness of the contemporary events, which invariably shapes legal decisions. This in turn serves as the foundation for the policies that promote sustainable business growth and development in the maritime space.
A reminder, you're still watching News 360. This is our major news bulletin for the day. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on your DSTV channel 279. Now, mental health patients in the country will soon be financially relieved as the National Health Insurance Scheme will soon cover treatment costs, addressing the significant financial burden patients face before accessing treatment. Mental health issues are a significant concern due to low funding for health institutions treating such conditions.
Mental health conditions are often neglected by families due to financial constraints, putting pressure on health facilities. The National Health Insurance Authority has constantly been called to expand coverage to include mental health treatment. The intervention, set to be effective later this year, will cover all medications for individuals with mental health conditions.
Before the end of this year, the National Health Insurance Authority is for the first time going to pay for mental health conditions. At least the topmost conditions that are seen daily in our hospitals with mental health will be covered by the National Health Insurance Scheme. We are working on the details as to the cost, how to go about it, the coding and all that. These are things we go through so that when people take care of our brothers and sisters with depression, with schizophrenia, suicidal tendencies, with mania, all those mental conditions, they don't have to go through the burden of finding money for themselves. And the drugs that are not available from the Mental Health Authority, this authority will be paying for those drugs.
The NHI covers expenses for treatment of childhood and breast cancers, while discussions on dialysis continue. The authority released 471 million cedis to settle arrears owed to service providers, leaving 2 months to clear. The NHI CEO issued a warning to those who continue to charge illegal fees.
Somewhere in September, we set up a national illegal charges committee or co-payments committee. They send reports to us at the center, which is collated by the national committee. And I'm happy to say that we've had the first national report. Based on this, we've engaged the Ghana Health Service, which manages all government hospitals virtually. We've also engaged the Christian Health Associations of Ghana to approach management, those who have been cited. Our objective is not to close down hospitals or arrest health workers or managers. Our objective is to throw light on the behavior and make sure that if it does not change, we apply sanctions.
The National Health Insurance Scheme has in excess of 15 million membership.
You're still watching News 360 live from the News Hub here at Adisawe Kanda. We have business news coming up shortly. Just stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint. As compared to other paint brands on the market, we take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
You dey sleep? That's Madina. Sentuntum say wunna ma de jume ma wonsa.
Efrema be magani oba.
Ma wonsa. Sentuntum ma sumuda ma wonsa.
Thou shalt not slap. Having black mosquito quail. Pamon tontom na empom wisie bebre na ema wo mowa na ema wo nhwem na ehwam.
Having insecticide spray hwam na sanso kumu a wotu ene omo wia nyina. Now having naphthalene balls and having perfumed insect repellent no ekumwa warrior nothing just here with
having black mosquito quail empom wisie bebre and say wo hene so ehwam kama kweno emubu na jumo size no boduma don shire dumie no
and having spray having naphthalene balls ni perfumed insect repellent no ekumwa omutu na wa wonam from nothing just here with
heaven dear bakope heaven dear
FDA aji edrede krato yatum.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN Just For You. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
To football with GoTV.
Works the space well and scores a brilliant.
Nobody but GoTV gives you all games of La Liga and Serie A, the Premier League and UEFA games that matter, and the world's favorite cup competitions. Get GoTV Super for only 249 cedis to enjoy the football overload. GoTV, love it.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN, Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
Hello out there, very good evening and warm welcome to the very latest in the world of business. Now, did you know that buildings alone account for almost 40% of global carbon emissions? Now, as Ghana struggles to solve its 1.8 million housing deficit, three businesses, Shadrach Esrifi looks at available options that can contribute to tackling Ghana's housing challenges while keeping our planet safe for the next generation.
According to the Ghana Statistical Service 2021 Population and Housing Census, Ghana has a housing deficit of about 1.8 million. This means that the country needs about 1.8 million housing units to solve its housing shortages.
Other materials, if it's explored, definitely is going to lower the cost of building, especially housing. And you know, housing is a basic need. And this country lags behind in terms of housing deficit in the regions of 2.3 million units. We have to wean ourselves off from the conventional building materials. That means cement and then steel and concrete. If you're able to veer off of these materials, and then we want to concentrate on the materials that are locally available to us, within our surroundings, within our backyard, in our neighborhoods, that alone will save us a lot because you are reducing cost of imports, and then the expertise is also localized.
Research has shown that local building materials have low embodied carbon per meter square, making them safer for the environment. Conventional building materials such as cement and steel have very high embodied carbons and demands forex to import. Besides making beautiful homes, these local materials are also good for the country's road network.
This road that you see has been constructed over 20 years. But you see that, yes, all the cars pass over it, but yet you see it. And it's even easier to also maintain. So instead of having your bituminous concrete and then your bituminous material on your road surfacing, which is very expensive, maybe you can explore into these areas whereby we use these materials and that are also friendly, because at the end of the day, the thermal comfort of this alone, trust me, it is far lower than using bituminous material or concrete in itself.
On budget terms, they also come in pockets and environmentally friendly.
Local materials, which is the compressed bricks and all those things, they also have some properties. Their natural properties make them much better to live in, just that people don't know. That if you use bricks to build your house, you will have a better inner temperature feeling. You feel that they are cooler when the outside is warm, and then they are warm when the outside is cold. That is how God takes care of some of these things. But a lot of us don't even know. So we are not looking at the benefits we can even derive from some of these local materials, and are just busy increasing the emissions, and they tell us that the total world emissions, we get about over 40% from concrete products. So it means that we are hurting the climate and the environment with this continuous use of concrete.
So, as you plan your next building project, think local, think about the planet, think sustainability. Together, let's save our economy and our environment. For 3 Business, I am Shadrach Esrifi, Accra.
In other news tonight, senior lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Kobi Mensah, is optimistic the refurbished Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park will boost the tourism sector of the country. He was addressing the media at the 8th edition of Destination Legon Tourism Market and Exhibition 2023, dubbed Tourism and Hospitality Futures, Our Experiences of Tomorrow.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, I was invited to the launch. The ministry invited me to the launch, and I couldn't hide my excitement, about it. I think that kudos to the government. They have done amazingly well. Of course, when you mention Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's name, you're talking about diaspora, African diaspora. You're talking about the Africans themselves, I mean, those inland. You're talking about many other people who have interest in Pan-Africanism and in Africa itself. So I think that it is one of the projects that we would realize quite a lot of benefits because if you look at the Pan-African tourism market, it's huge. Starting from Panafest those days, emancipation there, you see how people troop into the country. And not to even talk about the current, return, the year of return, and then beyond the return. Massively successful, you know, thanks to the president, of course, and then to Ghana Tourism Authority for the immense job that they've done.
Elsewhere, an economist and senior lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Ejepoma Jeke Daku, is calling for the development of the agri sector to be able to provide raw materials to the manufacturing industry. According to her, the services sector leading growth of the economy does not lead to job creation. She, however, attributed the poor performance of the industrial sector to a disconnect between the industry and the agricultural sector.
We want an economy that would be driven by let's say, from agric, we move to manufacturing, and then we move then into services, where the manufacturing sector is able to give us that kind of productivity that we need, and also from the agric sector that we have. So we have an agric sector, we are blessed with resources, and we are not able to utilize the agric sector in a way that we are supposed to be utilizing it. So we are looking at industries like agro-processing that would actually take the raw materials from agric and then materials such that we don't become import dependent.
That's it for the very latest in the world of business. For more business news, you can log on to our website. It's www.3news.com.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN Just For You. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
Pepsodent introduces charcoal and lemon essence. The unique combination of natural essences whitens teeth naturally for you and family, because every smile matters. New Pepsodent Herbal. Introducing a unique combination of herbal extracts in an antibacterial toothpaste for strong teeth and healthy gums that protects your family and you. Every smile matters.
Many people think I get whatever I want because I'm a popular actress. But no, that is not true. Me ankasano, adebia mi yebiano, me shishimpe papano. And when I find it, I stick to it. My shishimenya Bell Pack tissues. Bell Pack ewe tea roll. Bell Pack tea roll. Soft, but not weak. Strong, but not hard. It is smooth. Me yusua, me hotome. It's just perfect. Same as the kitchen towel. What about what? What me the papaye? What me soki? Echimu esa pepa. One Bell Pack kitchen towel lasts longer and saves you money. It's time you switch to Bell Pack today. Say here pocket tissue, table napkin, tea roll, and a kitchen towel. Bell Pack is simply the best. It's just perfect.
Nothing feels so good like Bell Pack.
Extra work, I dare for you. Extra work deserves extra taste. Tasty dear. Plus, we've added extra crackers in each bag. Royal King Cracker. Take choke your hunger. This advert is FDA approved.
Crown your style. New Ohima collection from GTP. Now available at any of our accredited dealers nationwide or any Woodin shop. GTP. Life styled.
Sports segment is brought to you by
Gentleman Cosmetic Range,
Bell Pack Tissues.
Yawo Fosulabi is here to give us updates in the world of sports. Yeah, what do you have for us today?
Well, coming up, there's news from the Black Meteors camp after they disappointed Ghana at the Under-23 Africa Cup of Nations. But let's head on now to our stories this evening. Black Meteors forward Zubair Ibrahim has admitted that he and his teammates asked management about unpaid bonuses before their key group stage encounter against Guinea in the Under-23 Africa Cup of Nations. The team had not received their bonuses from the Under-23 AFCON qualifiers victory over Algeria.
For money. We are not chasing for money. We are just asking about our bonus against Algeria that we played, I think, 3 months now. That's what we talk about. We didn't talk about any different money again. Look, what belongs to you is always yours, so it belongs to us, so we have to. Because I think not only one player, we all decided to ask, oh, they said after Algeria we are going to get this, and so we just asked them, oh, if the money is ready. Like without the money, we play the game or not. We play, so we are not chasing any money. I will tell them to always have that confidence that we can do something. You see, we are out from the tournament, but Under-20 are going, so they have to keep on supporting them and pray for them. Because I think last 2 or 3 years, nobody knows Ghana will take the African Cup. Yeah, so we only need to pray for those who are going to play the WAFU now. So.
That's Zubair Ibrahim, the Black Meteors forward. Now, Andy Murray's hopes of a fine Wimbledon victory on the 10th anniversary of his 2013 title win were ended by Fitzy Stefanos Tsitsipas in round 2. Stalled by Wimbledon's 11 p.m. curfew on Thursday, the Briton lost 7-6, 7-3, 6-7, 2-7, 4-6, 7-6, 7-3 on Friday. Now, world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz gained his first victory on center court as he defeated France's Alexandre Müller to move into the 3rd round of Wimbledon. The 20-year-old Spaniard won 6-4, 7-6, 7-2, 6-3 against the world number 84. Well, now to some boxing news, because a heated argument broke out during the WBO Africa Lightweight Championship defense weigh-in on Friday at Kolegono over the arrest and detention of boxing promoter Alex Ntiamwa-Boakye by GBA officials. The 2 boxers were, however, weighed in ahead of Saturday, July 8th bout at the DAZN's Beach Resort in Accra.
The title fight is between Sheriff Quay and Bright Ayala. The champion, Sheriff Quay, exceeded the lightweight restriction and was told to lose the extra weight. Just as the weighing of the supporting fight commenced, some industry players began protesting the arrival of some GBA executives. The demonstrators were upset at the arrest of boxing promoter Alex Ntiamwa-Boakye. The agitation, however, did not disrupt the weigh-in. Sheriff Quay returned to make the weight and is ready for Saturday night's defense. The 2 coaches have been speaking about the bout.
The preparation have gone on well. We have finalized everything, and my boxer is ever ready. Normally, I will tell you that I always prepare my boxers towards the distance. If the knockout comes, I mean, that is a plus. But we are winning the fight.
We know this is an important title because it takes you to the world ranking. We are not taking it easy. We've worked very, very hard for it. Physically, tactically, technically, I believe we've done enough for this fight.
But that fight comes off later tomorrow in Kolegono. Do well to visit there if you're a boxing fan and enjoy some boxing action. My name is Yao Fusulabi, and that's all the sports news this evening here on Newsday 60.
What makes a gentleman? It's how the need to protect the things that matter pushes him to persevere. It's how he immerses himself in thoughtfulness. It's how trust is his shield. You can smell his integrity from a mile away. Introducing the Gentleman's Cosmetic Range. Be one of us. Be a gentleman. Ye a Brantier.
Water is life. Water gives life. Water moves through nature in a never-ending cycle. Observe the beauty of water as it flows all around us, refreshing and restoring. Gaze in wonder at the stillness and beauty of nature. There's harmony in nature everywhere around. Water revitalizes the body and keeps you going strong. Water is life. Water gives life. Drink Awake Purified Drinking Water. One for life. So relax and unwind, and in the calmness of nature, find the rest you desire. For every bottle of Awake you buy, an amount to be donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is said here.
Mami Musa was Sembiansa. Mon networks are use no. I'm praying and I'm recharge ya. Munyam Faswa, everyone so. Ah, Mabwa, Capre, way. And that's what you madi. Muntian Kabo did through. Vodafone say every Saturday, a Brebia Uber recharge from 5 cities El Cobiano. Assigned with seeking up to 20% amount back cash. Our Vodafone cash is so. It shock you? What did you hear? Say, Uber recharge. Say my Vodafone app, Vodafone cash, credit transfer, short code, MBA, Uladia,
Top up your airtime with 5 Ghana Cedi or more in Vodafone's double promotion and receive up to 20% of your money back straight into your Vodafone cash wallet. Recharge and cash out in the Vodafone double promotion.
Vodafone, further together.
Well, news just in indicates that there will be an impact on power supply due to gas supply shortage. The Ghana Grid Company Limited is informing the public that there is a deficit in thermal power generation due to limited gas supply from the Ituabo Gas Processing Plant and the West Africa Gas Pipeline, and this has created a supply deficit of 650 megawatts at peak time, which will affect consumers in some parts of the country. Every effort is being made to restore gas supply from Ituabo. As the situation improves, power will be restored to affected consumers, and Gridco says that any inconvenience caused is regretted. Coming up, entertainment news.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water, GTP, still timeless, Vodafone, further together, and powered by 3 Entertainment. Welcome to the entertainment news segment. My name is Anita Ikia Ikufua. Angela White, in an exclusive entertainment, has clarified her comments on the challenges she faced filming in Ghana. She also hinted on her conversations with the National Film Authority for the implementation of tax incentives for creators.
Hollywood filmmaker and business coach Angela White expressed her challenges while filming in Ghana for her yet-to-be-released movie 9 at a recently held Essence Film Festival during a panel discussion. But her comments met mixed reactions from some Ghanaian industry people. In an exclusive interview with Hui Entertainment, she clarified that her comments, which have been misconstrued, wasn't merely a move driven by personal preference, but she sought to shed light on the arduous challenges faced by creatives when attempting to shoot in any part of the world.
So you always have challenges with shooting anywhere in the world. You're going to have challenges. That's the world of being a producer. Our job is to troubleshoot challenges, and there's no film set that's perfect. But at the end of the day, our goal was to go in there and shoot a movie, and we did that successfully. Me talking about tax incentives and country incentives is one conversation, but saying Ghana's not a place to shoot, I never said that, and that's not what I support.
She's urging the government to step up its support for the creative arts and filmmaking industry to make it more attractive. She is, however, excited that conversations are in place with the National Film Authority for the implementation of tax incentives for every creative person who comes into the country for a production.
Perfect. There's always more improvement. There's always change that can happen. I've been in contact with the National Film Authority, and they are now working on a tax incentive, which is amazing. I've offered my services to help in any way with any implementation, any policies, any questions they want to have. Me as a foreign producer, that will make life shooting in their country easier and more accessible for filmmakers like me. But you got to remember, we have to be clear, there's nothing perfect. There's always room for change, and that's a good thing. And if I'm an agent for that change, I think that's great. And I think
Angela White, who describes the movie as a love letter to Ghana, shared the intriguing backstory of the movie 9, revealing that she employed over 50 Ghanaian crew and 22 musicians.
We just hired 22 musicians in April to do our live music. So our film is Ghanaian crew, Ghanaian cast, Ghanaian music. It is truly a love letter for Ghana. So it's a fun thriller, sci-fi, fantasy. Our 9 assassin women are like superheroes. They have special powers. So it's a Pan-African film, and we're really excited about this. I think this is going to be one of first films with this type of action and sci-fi mixed in.
Come back! And still on Angela White, and she pouring out her frustrations, she stated that it was very difficult to get support from the government in terms of housing, discounts for rentals, and tax cuts. And reacting to her claims, the Deputy Director of Diaspora Affairs at the Office of the President, Dr. Nadia Adongo-Fin, said Angela White and her team did not approach the government for support when she came to shoot in Ghana.
How did you take this, and what do you think could be the reason why this is happening at a point when we're trying industry here in Ghana?
I mean, sitting there and listening to it, that was then a pleasant, something to receive. Angela White, for instance, I have never come across her in Ghana. As you know, the Diaspora Affairs mandate is to mobilize the diaspora and to help the diaspora and to support the diaspora as they come to Ghana. However, the ones that has approached our office will testify. And this gentleman was there, Michael Bosman, who is iFactory.
Yeah.
Testified clearly how he has gotten support from Diaspora Affairs because he has approached us on various projects that he came to shoot in Ghana. Angela White has never approached our office. We would not know who is in Ghana and doing what until you actually approach us.
Okay.
Most people come to Ghana on their own and start working with private entities. And choose to go that way. Others will decide they want to do a bit research or find out what are the various parties I need to connect with before I come. And the ones that have done so, that have come across, through our office, we've been able to help them.
Well, we'll keep tabs on this developing issue and bring you more updates as and when it unfolds. My name is Anita Ikufu. That will be all for the entertainment news segment. Have a good evening.
Kenyan police have used tear gas to disperse protesters marching on Friday against a new finance law that has doubled the fuel tax and introduced a housing levy for employees. Opposition leader Raila Odinga has called the protest to oppose tax increases that were imposed despite a court-ordered suspension and came at a time when many people were already struggling with persistently high prices of basic commodities such as maize flour. President William Ruto's government says the tax hikes, expected to raise an extra 200 billion shillings a year, are needed to help deal with growing debt repayments and fund job-creating initiatives. The High Court suspended the implementation of the finance law last week, but the government raised retail prices of petrol anyway, forcing the opposition senator who lodged the case to seek the jailing of the head of the energy sector regulator for.
That's it for News 360. Before we go, remember to brush your teeth before you go to bed this evening and tomorrow morning when you wake up from bed with either Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, Pepsodent Charcoal, Pepsodent Herbal or Pepsodent Triple Protection. Because with Pepsodent, every smile matters.
That's all for News 360. Thanks very much for making a date with us. My name is Pakwisi Asare.
I am Portia Gabo. Enjoy your weekend.